Imagine going into a restaurant with a coupon for a free meal, but when you get there, they send you out the back into the kitchen. They make you spend days or even weeks assembling the oven, putting the fridge together, setting up the dishwashing machine. Then they make you cook the meal, and then once you've eaten the free meal, you find out that they got that meal for free from a soup kitchen, and then they hit you with a bill for all the equipment that they made you buy. If you're a small business owner or sole trader getting set up for the first time, you've probably come across offers like this from Godaddy to build your free site. And I'll admit, it's super tempting. However, if you don't have a technical background nor access to anyone who does, WordPress may very well be one of the most ironically, shockingly bad investment decisions that you can make in your early days in terms of time, money, and sanity. WordPress is a free open source plugin that anyone on the internet can go and download today. So what DNS hosts like Godaddy are doing here is sneakily bundling WordPress inside their own packages as a Trojan horse to lock you into a bunch of ancillary services that they do charge you for, but which also add a whole lot of unnecessary complexity to your website management. These are complexities you don't have to worry about when you use a modern site builder like Typedream or Framer or Wix. Incidentally, it's also why a lot of web agencies out there love to recommend WordPress, because with WordPress, it just breaks all the time, which means that you're likely to become very dependent on their monthly support and maintenance. It's for these reasons that most non-technical business owners who choose WordPress usually end up investing way more time and way more money upfront and in the long run. So in this video, I'm going to break down the anatomy of a WordPress website and go through all of the hidden costs and complexities that you're taking on. By the end, you'll have a clear mental model of how websites work in general and why 95% of the time it's worth paying an extra couple of dollars every month for a modern site builder like Wix or Squarespace or Typedream. Let's go. Now, before we begin, some basic housekeeping. This video was spun off from another video I made detailing the 3 biggest traps I see business owners fall into when they're first setting up their website. Now, in website land, everything gets built on top of a DNS, so that's a pretty important thing to have at least a basic grasp over. I've covered the basic foundations of your DNS in that other video, so today I won't be covering it in too much detail, but I would really recommend checking out that video, especially if you want to avoid falling into other traps like today's lesson breaks down 3 major moving parts that come standard in any modern website building platform, but require individual configuration and ongoing management for website building plugins like Wordpress. These are 1. Website hosting, 2. SSL certificates, and 3. The 1 billion plugins you need to install on any given WordPress website. Cool, let's go make some lemonade while the sun's still shining. All right, first cab off the ranks, we have hosting. To make a WordPress website accessible on the internet, it needs to be hosted on a server that is always live and connected to the internet. The host server's IP address is the destination that your DNS actually sends the traffic to. Without web hosting, you might as well have your website saved on a USB stick and kept in your drawer. It exists, but no one can access it. Currently, you can get cPanel hosting via Godaddy for roughly 10 Aussie dollars a month, but that goes up to like 20 or 30 after the first year. Now, full disclosure, there are free hosting solutions out there. Heroku was a really popular one. Just be aware that by virtue of it being free, it's going to be very slow, which can negatively impact your SEO ranking. It can also really hinder the customer experience on your web page and lead to really high bounce rate. On top of that, your server also needs a secure socket layer certificate installed. Have you ever seen a warning that hackers might be trying to steal your information? That's due to a missing secure socket layer certificate, which encrypts data and blocks attacks. If you've got hours up your sleeve and you're feeling technical, you can install a free and very robust SSL certificate from Let's Encrypt. Otherwise, if you want to buy your SSL from your DNS host, you can probably expect to pay like $200 to $300 every 2 to 3 years, roughly $5 to $10 a month. Finally, plugins on plugins on plugins. Now, WordPress itself is a free plugin that anyone on the internet can go and download today. However, if you want your WordPress website to actually look competitive and support your core business needs, you should probably bank on installing anywhere between another 5 to 20 additional plugins on top of WordPress. You'll need these to support really basic core business functions like page building, analytics, performance, security, e-commerce, forms, etc. Listen, every business is different and they have different needs and different plugin requirements. However, it's been a while since I've met someone using a WordPress website who wasn't paying at least an extra $5 to $20 a month. Each plugin needs to be managed and updated individually, and often updating one plugin will break 5 other plugins. This makes your website feel like a giant wobbling stack of plates that can fall over at any instant, and frequently does, usually exposing security vulnerabilities which put you and your customers at risk. Totally concede that I've been pretty down on WordPress, and I actually don't entirely hate it. A lot of developers love it as well because you can set up a website very cheap if you know what you're doing. So while WordPress might work if you've got lots of time and patience to learn and manage all of the moving parts yourself, for most businesses, the hidden costs can stack up really fast. Before you know it, you're paying well more than you would have for a modern CMS like Wix or Squarespace without any of the convenience or the stability or the scalability. Anyway, I think that's the fat lady's cue to drop the mic. I hope you found this informative. Again, if you're just starting out setting up your website, then understanding the core basics of DNS hosting and your email setup will help you to avoid falling into similar traps like this. So if you've got another 10 minutes up your sleeve, go check out my video on the 3 biggest traps you want to avoid when you're first setting up your website. Also, if you're wondering which website builder you should use instead of WordPress, I'll be making another video about that very shortly. Otherwise, you know the drill. If you enjoyed this, I'd love for you to like it. If you've got questions, don't shy away from the comment section. And if you want more practical and engaging guides like this to help you get the most out of your website and digital strategy, consider subscribe. But no stress if you can't be bothered. More videos coming soon. Until then, you take it easy.